Hi everybody, welcome back to another dev stream for Tales of Theron the Rin. It's our working title right now. My name is Kevin. As always, thanks for your support with the channel. Tonight's dev stream is still going to be a little bit more haphazard than usual. I tried to make these a little more compartmentalized, but we're getting to a point now where we have just a lot of little things that we need to clean up and wrap up in order to bring home our first playtest. So with that, let me show you where we're at and we'll get to work. So we've been doing a lot. What I've done is completely reworked jump, added in an entire new section. Let me show you where that is. Two new sections actually. So we've added in a new section here in our obstacle course whereby the character does these walls. For any of you who remember the old Ninja Gaiden thing, I just really like that. So we have these wall jumps that I wanted to do, which was a lot of fun. And then I believe we got this section working last time around. Also, I'll show you here in a second, got some disappearing platforms. But right now, specifically what we're working on is we're working on making this tutorial section painfully obvious. So basically, I'm just coming in here and I'm looking at what makes sense. So WASD to move, space to jump, hold space for jump, long jump, that's cool. Jump up through platforms, I hope that's pretty clear. S plus space is down jump through platforms, I think that's pretty clear. Jump up, then W to start climb, pretty clear. We need to get rid of that debug sphere. Okay, and now jump plus W in the air to auto grab a wall on impact. I'm trying to decide if there's a better way to say that. Okay. Oh, interesting. We should not be able to climb this wall. This wall is not climbable. So we fixed our climbing so well that we can climb any wall now? Not any wall. Okay, we're gonna have to take a look at that. Shift. Okay, okay. Shift equals dash. Alright, I think that's clear. S plus jump is a downward smash. That one is a little confusing. Okay, so let's do a couple things. So we've changed the way we did this, which I think is potentially confusing. This is, by the way, this is just set up as a blueprint that you can just type in the information over here. So shift, I think this should be equals dash at a yellow wall to smash. Okay. Now this one, it should be jump. Wait, is that what it is? Is that actually what it is? Play from here. Oh, that didn't work. Let's go. Play from here. Play from here. Okay. Interesting. Our camera's messed up when we do that though. Okay, now I know what it is. It's not, that's not what it is. Hold on, let's just press play to see if, okay, our camera is okay. Okay, let's go side view, right view. What this is this is while in air, S plus jump, which is spacebar, is a downward smash. And I think we can put this up here. Okay, so while in air, S plus jump is down smash. Okay. Hopefully that's one that I might be a little bit concerned about, but hopefully with 3 of these we'll figure it out. We also don't need this space here. Let's fill that in. Having a hard time getting this to line up. There we go. But each of our walls is no longer touching the ground, so we'll just go like this. And these are all inside the wall, so just to be safe, I'm gonna move those over and scale them back a little bit. Cool. So then we have our platform. All right, let's run through this again. We got WASD to move, space to jump, hold space to long jump, jump up through, S plus space to drop down, pretty clear, jump and W to climb. And then jump to grab a wall. I don't understand why that one is climbable. While in air, S plus jump to down smash. Okay. So now also that's the other thing we added in Powerups. So we have our max jumps now, so plus, and then I think Rusty was talking, we were all talking about last time, but I went ahead and made it so the platform flashes before it disappears, which is kind of fun. And then these red ones will actually take away your jumps, but I think I'm going to make that red, that text red when it happens. So we have that. Then we have, this is actually starting our timer now. And then this is the new section that I mentioned. This is all the old stuff that was there before. Perfect. Max jumps plus, so we get our double jump in time. Got our downward smash. Oh. Got all of our wall climbs. Oh, dude, that was a lot of speed. We have not implemented falling when you get electrocuted yet, which we need to do. We got to make sure those projectiles don't spawn or don't live so long that they go past the edge of the platform. So that's one minor thing we got to do. We are almost done. Got these disappearing platforms up here. Oh, missed it. I mean, this is tough. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I'm out of sync. There we go. Got it. Nice. That's okay. It's okay. Boom. No active quests. All right, and we got to finish our things. Okay, so a couple quick things. We said we need to That's all fine. We're going to make that text red. This is all true. We need to check this wall. Is this wall checked to be climbable? Because if it is, that would explain why we can climb it, but I don't think it is. It doesn't look like it's tagged to be climbable. Oh, it is. It's tagged over here. Can you all see this? Yes. Okay, so if I remove this tag, we can no longer climb it. We should really check all of our walls. How many of them have tags that show we're climbable? This one. Where is this one? Yeah, this should not be climbable. Let's just get rid of that. Interesting. There's a bunch of these that should not be climbable. Okay, that's a good find. So these guys we want to be climbable. Alright, where's this one? That should not be climbable. That explains... yeah, that explains a lot. Yep, that should not be climbable. That should definitely not be climbable. Where is this? Not climbable. Not climbable. So it basically uses tagging. Hold on, I messed this up. Okay, I did something to the scale of this. Okay, I think I fixed it. Alright. So that's not climbable. So we use tagging to determine whether or not a wall is climbable, which is pretty simple. But I don't know how these plain walls got tagged in the first place, because these were never meant to be climbable. I'm hoping this explains why one of these other walls is also climbable when it shouldn't be. Oh, this is crazy. This is everywhere. Alright, these pass-through walls, we do want them to be climbable, so that's fine. This one should not be. That one should be. This one should not be. It's not. Okay. That one should be. That one should not be. Alright, that explains why I can climb that one. That's good. Same thing there. We don't need to be able to climb on the floors. We're almost there, y'all. I know this is exciting stuff. I just want to double check that I'm actually turning. Yeah, it's these little headers. So these little headers here are to prevent you from just jumping straight up to the next one. You actually have to do the back and forth. Yes. Okay, so that explains why I could climb that and this. Beautiful. All right, I think we got those cleaned up. So let's save that. And then we were going to make it so that when an item gets taken away, we could specify that the text was red. So I can also show you all how the power-ups work really quickly while we're at it. which is, it's pretty straightforward. Literally, it's an actor in the world, and when we overlap, if it's a 2D character and it's the capsule component, because we could potentially overlap, we can overlap the capsule, we can overlap the wall collision, all the detection that we have. So this was getting hit 3 times. But anyways, we go to that and then we apply the gameplay effect. And in this particular case, the gameplay effect is a new gameplay effect class, which I created, which is called GE Max Jump Increment. And then we turn ourselves off and we destroy our collision, and then we play the text pop up, then we wait for a duration, and then we destroy the actor. This duration is how long it should take for the pop-up to play. The one thing that I want to do is this display text. If we find our references to it, you'll see on begin play, we get the display text and we set it to the display text, and we set the visibility of the widget to be hidden because we don't want it visible. The other one that we do, let's get display set display text. Okay. Do we do anything in construction? Oh, that's our colors. Okay, that's fine. So what I want to do here is I want to specify a text color. So to do that, we're going to need our Powerup UI. So I get to show you that as well, which is going to be down here. Powerup text. All right, and in our graph on construct, we get the display text and we set it. I think we just need to set a linear color here. Color, set color and opacity. Set color and opacity. Cool. Okay, and then we're going to promote this to a variable. And this is going to be public color opacity. Let's compile that, save it, set it to white. We're going to have to check that out. We're going to set it to white so that they will all default to white. Compile and save. And then let's take and move our start point to, okay, we can just move it there because that'll be the easiest place to test. Oh, actually, it's probably easier to move our portal. Let's move our portal right here. Okay. So, when we get this power up, should be white still. It is. Cool. Now we want to change this one to be red. So we need this public color and opacity to be instance editable and exposed on spawn. Compile and save. And then that's in the widget. And then in the power up, we need to set public. Ooh, it doesn't know. Here it is. Interesting. Okay, so we need to make sure, because this is just a widget, it doesn't know it's a power up widget. So we did store our power up widget here. So as a power up widget, let's go ahead and set our public. Let's see what we got. We got set public color and opacity, and we're going to promote that to a variable as well. Okay, and then we will make sure that that is exposed on spawn and editable. Check this out one as well. Instance editable, expose on spawn. We do not want hot pink. We want white for the default. Compile and save. Everything in the obstacle course should be white by default. And then let's get rid of this. And then this is a pickup, but I don't see public color and opacity. Expose on spawn, compile and save. Save. Let's try something here. Oh, here it is. I don't know why it didn't show up. Maybe I just need to refresh it. So this one we want to be red. And let's just see something. If I make this a 500 red, what does that do? So if we go play, go through our teleporter. Oh, we need double jump. Okay, so that's still white the way we want. Platform disappears. Oh. Cool. Nope, it just sets it to red. But that's okay. I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough. Oh. Oh, I can't get to that platform. I need double jump. Yeah, I think that's good. It's not, it doesn't pop quite the way I would like it to. I'd like there to be some glow to it and everything. We'll have to look into that, but we don't need to get lost in the art. We just need this to work. So I think that covers, okay, I think that covers everything that I wanted to do as far as introducing the player to the hotkeys, how things work, double jumps, etc. 2 more things that we need to do in order to clean this up. I wonder, it would be great if you all were here tonight. I wonder if we need arrows that show players where to go. But before we do that, let's just duplicate this. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to say race begins. Oh, it's kind of wordy. Pick up to begin race. Race starts on pickup. Race. Pick up to start race. Pick up. Clock starts when you pick up first. Objective to start the course, start the clock. Yeah. Pick up to start a race. Okay. Except I don't really have a way to put an arrow in here. Is there an ASCII key for an arrow? Hold on, let's look that up. I think I have one person watching on YouTube. Don't hesitate to throw in questions if you have them. And also feel free to hop in Discord and join the conversation. This is a very open back and forth DevStream environment. I'm happy to answer questions as we go. That's what we're here for. Okay, ASCII character for upward arrow. Let's just see if we can copy. Oh. Nope. Doesn't know how to display it. Okay, we're gonna need a new plan. Let's go with, maybe we can just use an actual arrow. There are arrows here. Interestingly enough, a bunch of these are control rig arrows. Trying to figure out the best way to do this. Because we can take this and drop this in here. Okay, and so we have an arrow. And let's see here. If we go to our viewport. This thing is way off in the middle of nowhere. If we bring it back, like so. I don't know why I can't see this from the side view. Oh, there it is. And just out of curiosity, let's put our teleporter back where it was. What does that look like when we run up to it? Can't even see it. So let's just switch that to white. I think that's probably the best way to go. Let's see if there's just a white material. White. Oh, that's UI white. We don't want that. We just want white. That's also UI. A lot of these are white. White. UI, UI, UI. White water. We don't have a simple white material? Madness. Okay. Sure, let's just use that. Okay. I think that's clear. That'll work for now. I don't love it, but whatever. It checks the box for right now. Let's get rid of the shadow. We don't need it. Does not cast a shadow. Save that. Okay, so we're going to pick that up. That starts the clock. We already talked about that. One thing that we need to do is we need to stop our clock. I don't know if we have the ability to do that right now. Dreams Project, welcome to the stream. Oh, you're finishing your animation project. That's great. No worries. If you have questions or is there something you want me to go over, let me know. So I don't know if everybody noticed, but when we went through and we picked up our last objective, even though it said objective complete, it did not stop the clock. So we got to fix that. And the way we're going to fix that is if you haven't seen any of the previous streams, the way that this is set up is using a flow graph. So in our flow graph, what happens is we start our quest and save the pen, execute trigger, and we complete the quest. This uses a data asset, and the data asset starts the test quest. Now the thing that's kind of crazy is I don't actually remember how we start the clock, which is hilarious. Data asset test quest. Be objective. Okay, hold on a second. Notify the graph. We're notifying the flow graph. We're saying let's set hidden in game. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out how we're triggering our clock, y'all. So let's go to our UI and let's take a look for our timer. Where's our timer? Here's our timer. Also, I want to update our widget timer. It doesn't match the vibe of the game. Okay, so here's our update clock. The way update clock works is we get the game state, we bind event to level stopwatch update, and then we update the clock. Interesting. That's in the game state. So I guess let's take a look at our game state. Which I can't remember where it lives. So let's do a search here for game state. Game state. This is our game state. I don't want to copy, I want to open it. Alright, so when we begin play, what we do is we bind an event to onQuest objective progressed. That's our quest manager. Okay. Then what happens is if the quest tag equals quest test, which is our test quest, we should probably rename this to be something legit. But what happens is if it's equal to that and the objective tag is location A and it's 1, then if all those things are true, then we start the stopwatch. Okay, so the answer is we need to stop the start watch in our game state. So the question is, for our quest manager, do we have an event we can bind event to quest state changed? Oh, interesting. Okay, here's the question. And this would take too long to test. So here's what we're going to do. I want to know, we know we hit this quest when we start the quest. Okay, so let's check this out. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up a test case. We need 17 of these. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Maybe it's 19, 18, 19, just in case. Okay, so what I want to know, this is what I want to know. I want to know when the quest objective is progressed, does it hit it on each one? Or does it only hit it on the first one? It's like what determines what is progression as far as a flow graph is concerned? So let's go find out. So we should hit that breakpoint on the first one. We do. Okay, so it looks like we're hitting it on each one. We are. Okay, we may not need a separate event. So every time we pick up one of those, it hits that. That's cool. Okay, so now here's what I want to know. What else can we get off of this? Can we get whether the quest is complete or not? Quest. Get quest data. What is this? Break the data. That's the tag state. Okay, here's the state and the objectives. Okay, let's just do this. Let's make a quest tag. I want to print the state. I want to see how the state changes. So this is going to be our quest test. Quest test. Okay, cool. And then what we'll do is in here we're going to print a string. And can we connect in the state? We can. Okay, cool. So let's see what happens. Let's see what it prints every time we do this. So when we go through here, in progress, in progress, in progress, in progress, in progress. Level complete. Interesting. Okay, so we don't need to do anything. We've got everything we need right here. So here's what we can do. We can take our quest manager. Can we just get the state right here? Get. No, we've got to get the quest data to do it. Okay, that's fine. That's not a big deal. Let's see if that equals. And then we're going to look to see if it equals completed. That's interesting. That's different. Okay, and if that's true, if it's completed, I want to do a print string just to test it. Race finished. And if it's false, we're just going to keep going. Let's put a breakpoint here just to good measure. Compile and save to see if we ever even hit it. We do not. That's because complete is not the same thing as level complete. That's interesting. Oh, wait. Who's printing that level complete? I'm not printing that anymore. Hold on a second. We're definitely never reaching completed. Something's off, y'all. Because it's still printed level complete. So where did that come from? Level complete. It's kind of weird. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. If the required which all this, we didn't even need to do this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if the required progress is equal to the current progress, we are going to say that's true and the level is complete. This is where we start to stop our stopwatch. We don't have to do all this other stuff. Now, separately though, why this isn't updating the state to be complete, like that's non-live stream us. We need to go track that down because that should absolutely update that. And we're going to have to go dig through the code to find out why it's not doing that. But for now, that means we don't need any of this. So we can compile and save this. Okay. Also, I really just don't like the name of this. This is event quest objective progressed. Responder. Sure. Delegate. I think it's called a delegate. Maybe. I often use the wrong term, so I'm going to use responder for now, just because that doesn't sound like a super engineering thing, so nobody's going to yell at me for using the wrong thing. Okay, so we have the responder. We're going to call this event start stopwatch. We're just going to duplicate this. We need a stopwatch. So where's our event? Start. Here we go. Start stopwatch. Stopwatch. That's going to be a fun one. Okay, and the way this works is we set a timer by event. We call level stop. Oh, here we go. Cool. So we need another event. So basically what happens is when we start a stopwatch, we set a timer by event. It updates the stopwatch every 100th of a second, and we stored that timer. So let's just do a new custom event. We really don't have to do this, but let's just do it because we could just do this in the complete. But let's just do event for cleanliness. Event stop, because there are other things we want to do. Event stopwatch. Okay, so that's going to stop the stopwatch, and to do that, we're going to take our timer stopwatch and we're going to clear and invalidate the timer handler. Okay? And that is going to stop the stopwatch. That's it. So it should stop ticking the minute we call that, as long as we call it. So over here, we're going to stop the stopwatch. So let's go and test it. Oh, we are so close, y'all. Okay, so right now when I pick this first one up, you'll notice the stopwatch starts 1, 2, 3, etc. When we get to the end, it stops. Perfect. Okay. It's almost like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. All right, so we have our stopwatch, which is great. Now, there's a couple other things that we need to do with the stopwatch in order to bring this home. So, for those of you that have not seen it, we have a leaderboard. The leaderboard, if you press L, will show you who has completed the obstacle course in the fastest time so far. This is all placeholder stuff, but what's most important about showing this leaderboard is the style. The other style that I can show you is we have a bug submission report. You can submit a bug report, which is a lot of fun, but I'm going to change this stopwatch to appear more like this style. So let's go ahead and do that. I know we don't care about art, but let's at least be somewhat consistent. It should not be that hard. We have our background blur, team score shadow. What if we get rid of this? Oh, undo. That was not the one we wanted to change. Score border. This is the one we want. Okay. And probably the easiest thing is going to be to grab this from an existing UI. Let's take a look at our bug report UI, which is dialog. Oh, no. That's actually in a separate. I made the bug report a plugin, I'm pretty sure. So let's look at our leaderboard then. So MUI leader gradient. Let's try plugging that in to here. Okay, I mean, that was simple. Sweet. I mean, that wasn't terrible. We could probably go a little further. So let's see here. This border, if we draw this as not a box, but we draw this as a rounded box, and we set our corner radii to, I believe it's 8, 8, 8, or 12, and we just go by half height. Does that make that look like a rounded? Check this out. Yeah, so we have a rounded. That's a little too rounded. That is not quite the style. Oh, that's half height radius, fixed radius. Compile and save. That's better. And then what we can do is we can if we put some padding in here, let's try padding of 20. I think that'll have a better fade to it. And then for our numbers, let's get the color of the font in the leaderboard, which is not that. Let's go back to our leader tile. So the leaderboard is made up of tiles. These are all the values, our name, and if we copy that, when we go back to our timer, we can paste that here so that it matches. Oh, it didn't like that. Do not crash. Okay, it did not crash. Also, let's take a look at our font. Our font here is Roboto. So leaderboard. Oh, I know why we're not using Roboto. Because we need a fixed width font. I didn't even know that was a thing until we did this timer, but we need a fixed width font. That's why the font is slightly different, and we will get a proper one, but I think that works. Oh, why did I go that way? I don't need to go that way. I can go this way. Okay. Okay, cool. What else do we have? We got all that going. We stop our clock. 22 seconds. Okay. How are we doing time-wise? We got about 20 minutes. We have a choice, Dreams project. And the choice is we can go down the rabbit hole of trying to figure out how to get the leader scoreboard to upload to our database, which I don't think is going to be a lot of fun. So how about we see if we can fix combat a little bit. So from a just to kind of like summarize, at this point there are really 3 big things left before our first playtest. We've got to get the leaderboard to update whenever a player finishes. I need to replace the art so that Zeraphine is no longer in here and we have Zerith. And then that one I do not want to spend a ton of time on, but I just want to get it so that, you know, people don't fall in love with this fluffy squirrel when that's not the tone of what I'm going for. Normally I know we don't do art, but anyways, that's one. And the third one is we got to get our survey done. We need doing a playtest without getting feedback is pointless, useless. So I'm gonna ask if people are willing to fill out a survey when they're done to see how we did, and then collect that data and see what people think. So that's kind of the gist. That's all. That's literally, except for some like minor stuff, that's kind of like all we have left to figure out before I put this in y'all's hands, which should be fun. Okay, I did just remember one other thing. If we take a look at our characters, let's see here, under game, here we have a draw debug sphere that we do not need. That's what that white sphere is every time we jump. Compile, save. Check that out. Okay, so in order to test combat, we need to be able to shoot stuff. So let's do this. Let's just go back to the beginning. And what we're going to do over here, we need a weapon drop. So let's go drop item, and here's an item drop. It's interesting. I expect it to not be funky. Oh, that's the wrong thing. We don't want an item drop, y'all. We want an item pickup. Test pickup, I believe, is the one we want. Item pickup. Okay, maybe it's this one. Yes, it is. Okay. Cool. So in our item pickup, if I bring this up so you all can see what I'm working on over here, we need to come down to the static inventory, the templates, and we're going to add in, let's do a dark energy level 3, I believe. Okay. If we pick this up, when we press play, if we look at our inventory, or which is under F right now, we have nothing. There's nothing in our inventory. Okay, if we pick this up and bring up our inventory, we have this guy. Okay, and when I do that, now I have an attack, which is cool. Okay, but the attack needs an enemy. So let's put in an enemy spawn point. So those are supposed to be homing missiles because it's level 3. If we use level 1, it would be a straight shot. Dreams project here. Let me tear this chat off so I can better read this while we're going. Getting the survey done will be the most fruitful since it will gather valuable information for testers, and the character direction might be the most important since it is the star of the game. That's true, but this playtest is not about the character. This playtest is about movement. And so our first playtest is movement, our second playtest is combat. Our character feedback and surveys won't come until the art comes online, which is a long time away. But yes. Okay, so we have that enemy spawn point. And this enemy spawn point is Shooter Core, Seraphine. This is the one we want. So let's put an enemy spawn point here. Okay, let's drop it. Let's put it a little bit above the ground. We're going to spawn a firehead, and we're going to spawn 1. Let's see if we have an enemy now. There we go. We got an enemy. So now, if we equip our attack, okay, this is what I was concerned about. So you can see our attack is going towards the enemy. However, it never hits the enemy. So it never does damage, it never does anything. Which is sort of a bummer. So we need to figure out why that is. So each player of the 5 races that we're working on is going to have a melee attack and a ranged attack. And I think it could be as simple as the team ID is wrong. So let's just try that first. Nope. Okay. So let's put some breakpoints in our projectiles. Projectile base. Okay. So what I want to know is clearly the projectile identified the enemy and it went towards the enemy. But for some reason, we are not properly overlapping. So let's put a break on detonate. Are we going to hit that? That's begin play. Let's put a break on the overlap. Oh, we already hit the breakpoint. Cool. Dreams Project, what kind of projectiles are those? I guess I don't understand the question per se. It's a projectile that we built. It's particles. I think now I understand what you're saying. It's a particle projectile. As far as which is more efficient, I think it depends on how crazy the particle is. But in this particular case, actually, let me escape out, because actually, technically, this is my least favorite of the particles. So if we change these out to be not that one. I thought dark energy level 4 was the one. But I guess it's infernal level 3. Let's see. Is this the purple one? Yeah, this is the one I like. But as I said, we're not actually hitting. Okay, so we overlap. We cast to 2D any base. Ooh. It failed. Oh, that's the wall. That's the wall. Do we ever hit this breakpoint? We never even hit that breakpoint? What? How's that possible? It's interesting that I get a breakpoint. Like, what projectile is firing right now? Oh. Oh, okay. I know what the problem is. Okay, let me show you all what the problem is. This is gonna be really difficult to test because if you look at our level, ooh, we have all of these guys. Our ranged hazards are shooting projectiles, and as a result of that, we're getting all kinds of extra feedback that we don't want. So let's go ahead and start again with an F. Bring this back up, and then this time. Oh, interesting. So I don't know if you noticed that, but the minute I press play, the minute I press fire, I got an overlap. The other actor that is overlapping, I'm betting, is, I don't know, it's nothing right now. It never overlaps, this character. What? But it does overlap. I think this first actor that it's overlapping is myself. Yeah. So what's happening is, the reason we're hitting this breakpoint to begin with is because our projectile is technically spawning inside of our character. So when we press this button to shoot, the projectile is spawning inside of our character's collision, which is fine. It should just skip out. But what's really weird is it's not overlapping the enemy. So if we show collision, clearly our enemy has collision. And it's aligned. That's weird. Let's take a look at this firehead. The firehead, the blueprint for the firehead. It has all the calls to the parent function, which just means that it's not doing anything special. It's all handled by enemy base. So if we look at enemy base, we have begin play. That's fine. That's the ability system. This is tick. What's it doing on tick? Oh, that's something for movement. We're not going to worry about that. Health change. Also not going to worry about that. Death finished. Death. Possessed. Begin play. So this thing doesn't do anything special. And let's take a look at our capsule component. Our capsule component is currently set to be object type enemy. It is an enemy. Our projectile sphere blocks enemies. No, it overlaps enemies. What if we change this to blocks enemies? Nope. We're just not getting the overlap. It should be overlapping enemies. So this sphere is an object type world dynamic, and our enemy is a world dynamic. I have a change this to pawn real quick. Let's go slow-mo. 0.25. I want to try something. That is clearly inside the collision capsule. Okay. So that didn't fix it. Query only. No physics. Let's try this. Collision enabled. Oh, I am super confused. Wait a minute. Enemy set to ignore? Oh, that's because it ignores the enemies. World dynamic, it's ignoring. Ooh. That's probably part of the problem. Let's try that. All these collision channels, man. It's crazy. There we go. Now we got it. We don't need this breakpoint either. Bam. Cool. We can do damage. Bonus. Okay. Now, let's take account of what's going on here. So, our 2D enemy can stay as enemy, that's fine. I know, it's always a checkbox, right? It's always a checkbox. Okay, so world dynamic, we're gonna overlap. That's the only thing we changed, right? Did we change anything in our sphere? Mesh. Okay, this is why I love version control. All right, so I can't for the life of me remember if we changed anything in here. So what we can do is we can diff it. And if we diff it against the depot, we can look and see that nothing was changed. So we didn't change any of our settings in here. They're all the same. Okay, so now let's take a look at one that is different. This is our enemy. If we compile and save this, and we diff it with the depot, you'll notice that there are yellow highlights. And if we click on those, we can see what is different. So it'll tell us, so this was no physics, query only, and we changed it to query and physics. Then the other thing we changed was custom, and we changed these values. Okay, so let's see if we can just go back to collision query. No, query only. Let's see if we can go back to that and still do damage. Compile and save. Check out the enemy. Press play. Press F. Just close. Yep. Okay, so we don't need physics. Reason why maybe I don't want physics is because when our characters, I don't want our characters bouncing around. I want to be able to walk through them like this. Yeah, so that's why. But that works. What was that speed boost I got? Okay, so let's try something else. Let's take a look at our enemy spawner, and let's spawn 5 enemies. And let's put them on team 0. Let's go like this. Close this. Oh, that was the wrong button. Okay, so I can change my target. That still works. What's increasing? Ooh, we got a Bitcoin. That's luck. Attack range is increasing. Okay, hold on. Let's do a check. Doesn't show me what my attack speed is or anything there. That should be the numbers down below, but for some reason it shows 0, 0 there. Ability system, show debug ability system. Okay, shield is 50. Base attack speed is 1. Base attack range is 2500 right now. Base luck is 0.5. Okay, so our attack range is increasing. It's now 2700. Our luck is increasing. There's a point at which this gets really ridiculous. I'm trying to get to that to see where we're at. So our attack speed right now is 0.36. $64. 1.2 on the luck. I haven't gotten an attack speed drop in a while. Yeah, it's all just attack range. That was attack speed. Attack speed. There we go. Just went to nuts. So once you cross a certain line for attack speed, you get like a quadruple insane shot. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. But anyways, it looks like we got our ranged attacks working again. So how are we doing time-wise? Okay, actually we are beyond time. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We made some progress tonight. I hopefully did not the beginning, a little bit of cleanup, stuff like that. You know, not always the most entertaining stuff to watch, but the thing is, we're just getting to that point where we just got a couple like little nitty-gritty details that we need to get done before the playtest. So I spared you digging for code to do database updates. So we went into some combat stuff. That's actually going to be our second playtest. So as soon as we get this obstacle course out the door, we are going to be spending all of the rest of the time that we have in the foundations phase working on it's going to be mostly working on combat, getting our melee attack set up. Our range attacks work. There's a couple things we need to figure out with those, but you get the general idea. Dreams project, it was good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out in the YouTube chat. For everybody else, the YouTube video is going to be taken down and it'll be posted in Patreon for everybody. And as always, thank you for your support in this crazy adventure. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.